something new, something different. Oh man, oh
What's
man.
up? We back.
Finally.
What you got on today?
Before we get
You
into
smell
it,
good, man.
Oh, thank you, sir.
What you got on?
Do you got to say no Diddy?
No,
uh,
literally no Diddy.
Paco Rabanne, Aspirations Millionaire. Got a little Rick and Morty's on,
Oh,
little
Ricky.
Rick Owens. Yeah. Leather pants from Amiri. Got my little leather jacket. Engineered by Drake, pardon me,
Oh,
And of course, it's not the Yankees, because New York is the greatest city in the world, but we all know where this is from. Toronto Blue Jays, home of the GOAT, as his son would say, Daddy GOAT. But, that's just Toronto.
I'm not gonna even say his name.
Okay. Aubrey, what you got on?
This is very unique. Nobody got this. This is one of one. His brand is Project 7 Denim, I believe, online. Very unique. I really mess with the brand. And the outfit. I got the mochas. I'm not on your tax bracket yet, but I'll get there. Calm, cool, calm, cool, and collected. And I have my shirt from Boohoo. Kept my Apple Watch on. I do got a pearl. Just in case, But I'm just cool. I'm just chillaxing today.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. So before we get into it, let's start by saying shout out to one of our sponsors. We finally got a sponsor on this episode.
Yeah. Whoa.
And that is Just the Girl Who Loves to Cook Catering Services, ABL Catering Services, LLC.
Absolutely.
So she's one of our sponsors. And in the future, probably next episode, we're going to come with some food and everything. We got some business cards and Instagram information will be at the end. But that's one sponsor down. I feel like 20 more to go. So we should fill up these walls with everything. But the most important thing is season 1, you saw a different set. Right now we are in a new home. It's a beautiful space. I'm proud of it. I'm happy for it, man. You don't understand how much weight has been lifted off of our chest. This feels great and amazing.
And bro, we've been talking about just having a new space, coming back to season 2 with a new look, a new start, a new beginning. And this is our new start. This is our new beginning. So please support our page. What is our page? Where can they follow us?
Everywhere, on all platforms. You got Twitter or X. You got Instagram. You got TikTok.
Which might get banned.
We got MySpace. We got Facebook.
Niggas said
you could catch the we on everything, every platform. We on I-95 soon. But no, SDFO 23ENT. Spaced the out 23ENT.
Absolutely.
We got merch coming as well. Jackets, socks, T-shirts. We got all of that coming very shortly. So we're working on some big things. I'm happy for it. Shout out to Philly Podcast Space. Yes. Amazing and beautiful.
Absolutely.
Other than that, what's going on with you?
Real quick before that, I want to give a shout out to some of my students who filmed my podcast. I appreciate y'all. So continue to support. I love y'all. Yeah. So how's your day going?
The day wasn't too bad. I mean, we had some ups and downs, some challenges at school, but that's an everyday thing. I've learned coming from the break, to which we enjoyed our break, but we didn't really get to do too much. Not like last time when we went away. Is to give every day a grade. And for a while, it was averaging Fs because it's just nonstop issues that happen. But what I realized is you got to meet the kids at the level that they're on.
Absolutely.
And that can come from not receiving enough love at home, to only knowing discipline, which is hollering and screaming, to unfortunately single parent homes to which the kids are raising younger siblings, and all the mom can do other than working 3 jobs is provide DoorDash or Uber Eats or food for them to heat up in the microwave while they watch their kids and grow. And these are 6th, 7th, and 8th graders that I'm talking about. So I've learned to grade with a learning curve.
Mm-hmm.
So today I give today like a C plus, and that's because we just got off of PSSA testing, and that was a shit show. But what I appreciated is the fact that kids came in, knew they did what they had to supposed to do, and now they curse and they go back and forth and they got smart mouths and all of that. But I feel a breakthrough with a lot of individuals that I can pull to the side and they be like, "All right, Baker, I
Mm-hmm.
got you," and they'll
Right.
listen, and
Right.
then it's not as difficult as it once was. But other than that, it was cool. I mean, we here, so
Yeah,
nothing could ruin
we
my
here.
day.
We just got off work an hour and a half ago.
Right, and had to rush across city to city just to make it here. But what about your day? How your day go?
Um, I would grade my day probably B plus, A minus. Last week was PSSA week. And I would say PSSA week was for those who do not know about PSSA, it is a state test that all kids take around the city. Um the state of Pennsylvania. So all kids take it. There are certain people who do opt out of the test due to their child not being prepared, or they just want their child to get a fair shot in high schools. But it's a state testing, and it just tests where your students are on a yearly basis. But last week, for it to be PSSA, it was a stressful week. My patience level was getting very slim. I needed a day off, but I didn't take the day off. I don't really like taking day offs during the school year. It depends on what it is. But today I will have to give it B plus, A minus. The kids were the kids were chill for the most part. We had some minor things, and with those minor incidents, it's with the same students over and over again. I love them to death, but they just get on your darn nerves constantly and constantly over and over again. Um, but again, like you said, they do come from troubling homes, or there's a lot going on at home. But also, I will also put some of that pressure on to the teachers.
Mm-hmm.
The
For
teachers
sure.
also, we always talk about how the teacher cause more issues than what the kid is actually doing in class, and just dramatic make the incident more dramatic than what it
Mm-hmm.
is.
Mm-hmm.
um but yeah, today was a solid day. Shout out to my students. I'm not going to say my school because I do not want y'all coming or commenting reviews. Oh, I saw it. I don't need that. But we are at pretty good schools. um you know it gets stressful some days. That's the school. That's school. It's part of the. But it was a pretty solid day.
Got you. So, as you know, this is the kickoff for season 2.
Season 2.
So, the title of today's episode is Back to Back Team Drake versus Team Kendrick.
Kendrick.
And with that being said, we're gonna touch a few things. Pause. Sorry. We're
No
gonna
Diddy.
touch. We're gonna touch on a few topics. We're gonna dive into the meat and potatoes, what everybody want to talk about, especially this guy over here. But we're gonna also dwell and stay true to ourselves, which we talk about the sports, we talk about entertainment, we talk about school as educators, what we want and what we're striving for, and then we're gonna end on a good note and let y'all know what we got coming up in the works.
Mm-hmm.
So for right now, let's dive into really quickly why we took time off.
Mm.
I mean, at the end of season 1, you can see the morale, our spirit, how it went, and it was going downhill a little bit, or whatever the case
Mm-hmm.
may be. So, in your eyes, really briefly, because we don't want to dwell, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
throw no shots.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be Kendrick, and throw dots, bars. But why do you feel as though we had to take time off?
Honestly, I think it was. I felt like our mental health was part of it, but also trying to produce the best product possible, and we weren't getting that. And on top of that, we were dealing with just working at a school, which comes with extra stress. And I think what we wanted to do was take a step back and come back recharge, new environment, and also a way for y'all to just push us. I had a lot of friends reaching out to me. It's like, yo, when y'all podcast coming back? When y'all podcast coming back? And I always like, even when they ask me when is music, when are you gonna do more music? And it's like, I like to take a step back from things so I could produce the best quality work. And I think for from my perspective, I think the reason why we took a step back is because to come back with we wanted to come back with on fire. We wanted a new look. We wanted a new scene. We wanted people to feel like, yo, these people back and they ready to go. They about their business. But also we wanted to make sure our mental health was in the right space as well. And again, we always talk about mental health and just like making sure that we uplifting each other. And I think sometimes you need to take a step back. But make no doubt, this is, and I don't care about the Gilly and the Willie, whatever those two names are. This the best podcast. Even with our 8-9 episode run that we had our last season, yeah, we coming back. We coming back, Gilly. It's Gilly and Willie.
Wallow. Oh.
No shots thrown. No shots thrown. I respect y'all and I appreciate y'all and I learned a lot from y'all. But yeah, how about you?
To piggyback off of, everything that you said, we had so many ideas, and we would never have a glass ceiling to push past what we wanted to strive for and where we wanted to get to. But it just got to a point to where, as though we weren't being authentic and true to ourselves.
Yeah.
We had ideas, concepts, and we wanted so much stuff we wanted to push out, but then it was like setbacks and little things that would deter us from reaching the potential we thought we should have for season 1, because I wanted to end season 1 not only on a cliffhanger but a banger to make people say, well, damn, let me watch every episode. We had a lot of mishaps, but that's the growing process. So the growing pains, because pain equals growth and growth equals pain, led to us taking that time to really consider if we wanted to do this. And by doing that, we mean we talk to each other. We say, yo, is this something we want to do? Do we want to take it to the next level? Or are we going to be like everybody else? We invested in something and we just let it fall by the wayside. We turned this into a LLC. We got our marketing from this. We making a business out of this. We're going to, get our studios and our merch, and we're going to continuously grow from this.
Absolutely.
So because of that, I felt as though the perfect setting that we're in right now is only the beginning. So we took time away, my fault. We took time away in order to come back. They cliche, the major setback comes with a major get back. I don't care about none of that stuff. I just knew that we had to do this. You got to know when to throw the towel in and take care, but then you got to know when to say, honestly, never mind. This is not for me. But then if you come back,
stop with the Drake reference.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. But if you come back in October on your very own best, then you already know that it's worth it.
Stop.
And because of that, we
Stay humble.
got to do this for everybody, for all the dogs, and you put in that dog mentality in that work, and
keep swimming in those pools.
That's when, that's when you're gonna get to where you need to be, and you won't say, honestly, never mind. You won't, but I'm all for it. I'm happy. What about how do you feel like we're gonna take this to the next level, take it to new heights, something different?
Consistency. Consistency is key. Again, we have a new space, Philly podcast space, and I think building that relationship and growing. There's always room for growth. I never want to get to the point where we are on our high horse, but I also want to learn a lot. Like, hopefully, as we get bigger, there are other podcasts who are bigger than us that could take us under the wing. And that shows growth, that shows maturity, and that it's not all about egos. We can help each other out. It's money, and it's enough money for everybody. You get what I'm saying? So I think part of us is just being able to, you know, again, grow, communicate, stay consistent, and mentor the ones after us. How about you?
So I know for us, visionary wise, taking it to the next level, we will be doing some vlogs from now on.
Absolutely.
Especially when we go on vacations, we're gonna do vlogs. When we have our group outings with the squad, the world travelers, and our friends, we're gonna do vlogs. When we go out, when we go shopping, when we go to the mall, and we gotta pick an outfit, like there was just a great event that we went to, and I wish we did a vlog for that. It's a
Yeah.
little too late because we were scrambling, but
Right.
shout out to Amira. She had her 35th birthday soiree, to which it was a
You
black,
know, she's
white.
gonna be pissed about you telling her age.
She be all right. A black, white, or black and white soiree, and it was a great event, and everybody was there. And if we'd have vlogged that, if we'd have did a, as you might say, get right with me, um, I call it watch me put on WMPO. But if we would have did that, all of that leading up to it and vlogged a
Mm.
little bit to show how much we had fun. There was some pictures and all that. We're
Yeah,
gonna
for
throw
sure.
that on our Instagram to show the pictures how we did what we had to do. But situations like that, we're gonna vlog that, and then we got a lot of things coming up. We're gonna switch it up this season. We got a lot of guests coming on. We got some great guests, and we got a little twist to uh, a podcast slash YouTube channel.
Hmm.
Shout out to Arlette that we enjoy, and we're gonna put our own twist to it.
Yes.
And
Yes.
TBH, that's all I'm gonna say. TBH, but just stay tuned for it. We locking in the guests and everybody for it. It's gonna come with a different aspect, but a more mature aspect, and it's gonna be some much CTV, not no clickbait like baddies and meatball that was on last night, or
Oh, you
pop
watched
the
it?
balloon with the rat. No, I ain't watched that. Pop the balloon with the ratchets, but it's gonna be very interesting.
Right.
So taking us to the new heights, definitely. And you know what? I think it's time for us to get some new guests.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
Coco, you wanted to sample that old school song, and it's a good song. I get it. And middleman, the bigger man, he just want to get in bed and get some, whatever the case may be. Coco, you wouldn't have that issue if you start talking to my man, the Kingpin, right here. But we need you in that chair right there. So we need a big guest. That's my
I would
goal.
love Coco Jones to be on this podcast. I'm the number one supporter.
Man,
Number one hater.
I'm
Number
not
one
hating. She
supporter.
just shouldn't have did
The,
Jazz O like that
the,
when it came to the Fresh Prince. But
that's she's acting.
yeah,
That's
is she really acting? Or imitates life. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, so let's jump into it. You know
Yeah.
what we do? Sports.
Sports.
You want to go first because you could talk about your shitty
Well, I'm gonna be
Sixers.
honest. Philly teams disappointed me this year, and I just felt like, you know, it's a new year, but last year, we wanted a day off. We was rooting for our teams, and we couldn't get a parade. We was this close, and then even this year, it's just like we always get too close. And no offense, I love Jalen Hurts, but he was giving me Nick Foles type vibes,
Here
like
we go.
just throwing the ball anywhere, and I just felt like he wasn't too focused this season. But shout out to Jalen Hurts, and I would love for you to come to school. I am a big fan. Just it's just critiques. Um, Also the Sixers. I every time I want them, I push for them to get to the finish line. It's just like, they just lose it at the end. I'm not I'm not a crazy basketball fan. I'm more into football. I'm not gonna lie. And back then when I was growing up, I hated watching sports, but I'm a true fan of just like football in general. But basketball don't really excite me, and just even going to the games, I'm like, yeah, all right, it's all right. But the Sixers,
Respect.
you know, eh, my expectations not too high for them. How about you? I know you are a Lakers fan.
Well, Sixer wise, well, first let's talk about the Eagles. Eagles had the most potential in the world. Second best player on the team to me is AJ Brown.
Absolutely.
trade
Shout
talks
out to
and
AJ.
rumor talks about that. If y'all let that man go, even though Sixers loaded up crazy, Sixers is like the Avengers right now. So I have no doubt that Eagles are
The
like the
Eagles,
Avengers right now.
right?
I have no doubt that the Eagles are gonna bring it home. Kelsey came back. He retired, but then he came back, and they got Saquon Barkley. Everybody knows I'm a Giants fan. Everybody know I'm from New York, of course, and that was the
Legend.
best thing that could happen. The Bronx, 233 White Plains Road. My dad still lives on the Grand Concourse, since you said allegedly. But the best thing that could have happened for Saquon Barkley was him to leave New York because he would have ended his career early from injuries, and New York just wasn't doing it. So the Eagles are loaded. Last year, by the way, Nick Foles led them to a Super Bowl.
Yes.
A Super Bowl.
That
But
doesn't mean that he wasn't sloppy.
Super Bowl.
He got lucky.
Super Bowl.
And shout
But
out to Nick Foles, but I'm just saying there was a lot of sloppy passes, and he just got lucky on them.
Super Bowl.
Yes, he did.
Eagles need to do what they got to do. I could care less because the Giants are horrible. Giants is worse than my school's team, and we don't even got a football team. But it is what it is. I love y'all New York Giants. Sixer-wise, Tobias Harris, hey, you had a donut. Kendrick Perkins said, Tobias called the Sixers and said, hey, what y'all want from Chick-fil-A? Tobias came back with napkins and straws, which means he did nothing. This man had 0 points in they closeout game. Tobias, they might hate on you. Come on to LA. Bron to get you right. Sixers could have did what they had to do. Joel Embiid, yes, he was tired. He was sick. He was winded and looking like me. I was running faster than than Joel Embiid. But Sixers are gonna get where they need to be. They're gonna do some things, some changes. If they get Paul George, like is rumored, they may take the next step to get playoff P and revive his career. Me, everybody knows I'm a LeBron fan. I am a LeBron fan. Where LeBron goes, I go. Because that's the point that we've reached in our 21
So
years.
you couldn't
And
take the heat like LeBron.
LeBron was on the Heat. He won championships there too, back to back, like the title of this episode. But LeBron did what he had to do. LeBron is 40 years old. There's no reason in the world that a 40-year-old man should be the best player on the team. In order for the Lakers to win, LeBron has to be the second best, which means AD has to take it to the next level. Now, I commend AD. He played 77 games when he averages 50 games. He did what he's supposed to do. But where we struggled at was point guard consistency. Where we struggled at was the front court. And our front court sucks. I feel like this. If the Lakers want to listen to me, you go out there and you get Andre Drummond. You could have had Dwight Howard as well. You move AD to the power forward, his natural position, and you get a center who's going to get them rebounds, who's going to bump, who's going to go back and forth with the Jokers and the Giannis's and the Joel Embiids and all them type of stuff. And if you get in the Go Bears, and if you get that, that will free up so many other things. If they get Trey Young from Atlanta, and he comes over there along with DeMar DeRozan, hey, whatever the case may be,
Right.
to prolong LeBron to play 2 to 3 more years. LeBron has 3 years in the max, and he's only doing this for Bronny. I get it. Bronny probably top 100 out of the draft, and because it's LeBron's son, he's going to get drafted, so he needs to develop and go to the next level. But he also got to understand that LeBron had the craziest amount of pressure on him ever for a player in the world, and he surpassed that, and he did that with prestige and dignity. But Bronny James is going to have the worst pressure, worse than LeBron.
Yeah, because
is LeBron's
son, right?
Exactly. So
that's like the thing is, that's the world's expectations.
Correct.
We don't know if LeBron's probably telling someone like, "You're not me," right? But I want you to give your all on the court 100%. Like me personally, I do not expect Bronny to be LeBron James on the court.
Mm-hmm.
You got to bring your own swag, you got to be your own person. I think, and I don't even think LeBron is trying to make his kids like him, but even though they're following the same path as him, he wants them to create their own name.
Correct.
You know?
Correct.
Nobody wants to be like, oh, he wasn't as good as his dad. No, like,
but that's going to happen.
But of course, but long as you're producing on the court and doing what you're supposed to do on the court, nobody can tell you nothing. Right. Kanye.
You just talking. But Kanye, Northwest. But no, so listen, Lakers got a lot of things to work on. Bus family, talk to me. We can make some things happen. I got some insights on some stuff. But all jokes aside, of course I could be a hater because Denver beat us again and Jamal Murray. I can't stand him. But who need to get a shout out is Michael Porter Jr. That young kid can shoot. He's amazing. He's the game changer. But nonetheless, I did say that my second favorite player is Uncle Drew. Uncle Drew is amazing. My third favorite player is Ant-Man.
Mm.
Not because of the hype and everything, but because of the confidence that he exudes and just how funny he is. So, of course, hating wise, I'm going to go for the Minnesota Timberwolves because I want them to beat the Denver Nuggets. And when they beat the Denver Nuggets, Ace at DTLR owes me a pair of sneakers because we bet on this. But other than that, honestly, just a fan of basketball. And this game's on right now as we speak. I don't even care who wins. I just want some great entertainment and everything.
Better
But
stop using that free website.
if I knew it right now, I would promote it so we could get sponsorship. But I'm not.
I'm gonna shut that
Right,
website.
right. But other than that, I'm cool. So let's jump into what we need to talk about, which helped us get to the place where we are, school.
Mhm.
Being educators. And like we said, we would never give out the information on what school we are a part of and where we're from. But we're both in the school. We're in the school world. And listen, matter of fact, I'll start. Not gonna go on no rant. We had testing, standardized testing through the state. To which we had preps. We had a prep rally. We went through all the expectations. This what you need to do. This what we want you to do. This is the potential incentives you can earn. We're gonna have staffers, the student basketball game where Mr. Baker gonna cook y'all. Blah blah blah. We went over everything. We gave out
Mhm.
golden tickets. We gave out swag bags and all that type of stuff. Everybody was all for it. Standardized testing come horrible. Yo, don't have your phones. The state could
Had it.
test. The state could take your phone. You could get sent home immediately that day for cheating and all that. We gotta go through your phone. Then you gotta take the test all over. I promise you, on a day-to-day basis, I had at least 5 kids on their phone. Phones dropping out during the class. We had staff, one-to-ones on their phone while kids is in there. So it just was horrible. People walking up and down the hallway. Then our over the phone, over the walkie etiquette. Baker, we need you on the third floor because blah 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 stuff you're not supposed to say, but state reps, standardized testing
Mhm.
proctors getting a red flag like, yup,
Yeah.
let's go take care of this. And I'm screaming and hollering. Of course, I'm a dean. Of course I
Yeah.
scream and holler. So
Literally.
literally. So it was just so much. And when I talk to them, why? But every morning when we do morning arrival joke, turn them phones in. Or I'm gonna give them to my teacher. I'm not even gonna divulge because if one of the teachers see that, they gonna know I'm talking exactly about them. But the standardized testing was frustrating. Nobody should get suspended during that time because you got to take the
Yeah, you
test.
got it.
So the discipline was okay. Well, you can have at the school detention. Yeah, right. Every parent, oh, my child can't do this or they can't do that or blah blah blah. So I tried to have heart to hearts with them. I tried to talk to them to resonate with them and relate to them, but that didn't go nowhere. It fell too short, and that's because no disrespect to everybody, but I don't care who takes it this way. The apple doesn't fall far from the
A
tree.
tree.
And it was situations where I got on the
Mhm.
phone and I said, hey, this is the fourth time that your child has been disruptive, laughing, walking around the class while they're taking standardized testing. And you know what I heard? But y'all never said nothing when my son's Snickers bar got took in the cafeteria and y'all was supposed to call me back. And I'm like, are you kidding
They be
me?
worrying about the
The
wrong
wrong thing.
shit.
And I'm like, okay, we can address that. But right now, your son's phone is taken. You got to
Yeah.
go downtown and pick your son's phone up because he potentially could have cheated. No, but that's why your school is blah, 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 blah. And I
Mhm.
promise you, I've grown more gray hairs within this year than ever before. And I just try to talk to the parents, but hey, you're going to be defensive. You're going to care for your child. I'm all for it. Just push your child and give that child that same energy when it comes to their grades and everything.
Mhm.
Because there's no reason why I'll advocate for a child and I'll fight for a child to graduate, walk across the stage, get good grades, do extra credit. I let them in my office to do their work, to catch up and everything. Shout out the Jets. She knows that. And I really try for the kids that I have faith in that has so much potential. But if the parents are not doing it, then what could I do? because
Absolutely.
there's nothing that could come from it. But school wise, that's me in a nutshell this year. I'm just trying to, sow my niche, um, plant seeds, and watch them flourish, whether they want to or not. But I need the parents to water that plant to make sure that plant get the sunlight and the brightness every day rather than stay in the darkness. And if they do that, I feel like our school could get back to on track to where it needs to be. What about you?
This honestly, this school year has been the most, it's crazy. The kids' behaviors have definitely improved from last year, but I am more stressed this year than ever because I feel like I am advocating for the kids. I'm trying to be on the teacher side, even when they're wrong. And it's always this back push that I feel like there's no type of understanding. And I always like, I feel like when we have conversations, we always talk about parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
But everything falls in line. It's the parents, it's the teachers, it's the it's the rules, it's the school system. It's just making sure relationships matter, right? And I think with this year, even though the kids were like, oh, there are times when they were like, Mr. Young, you mean? I don't care if I'm mean. I'm, like, but but they always could come back to me and have a conversation. All right, Mr. Young, you get what I'm saying? I think the thing is, kids might be mad at me one day, but they love me the next, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I formed those relationships, and I think the teachers have a problem forming those relationships. And when something does go wrong with one of those kids that we have problems with on a constant basis, it's like a wall that's blocked that I can't deal with it no more. I don't know. And it's just become this uproar. And it's just like, okay, how about we figure out, or how about we sit down together to figure out the common issue? What's going on in the household? I want to bring up a scenario, but I don't want, I'm gonna bring it up anyway.
Oh shit! Here comes the
No, I'm gonna
controversy.
bring it up anyway. Because I think it's important that we build relationships, like, and I think it's important that we, because relationships are important. I think in terms of parents and in terms of teachers, I think if that relationship is more of a bond, then the parents start to trust us more. Now, granted, I haven't had as much parent issues as you, but I feel like most of my issues come with the teachers.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of it is just like my back is against the wall, and then sometimes I just more stressed because I'm like, dog, I get y'all are getting on your teacher nerves, y'all get on my nerves, so I already understand. But I felt like I understand them because I sit there and have a conversation and talk. And I felt like a lot of when the kids come to me, they be like, yo, but when I try to do X, Y, and Z, or I try to explain, they shut me up. Or they did this, they did that. And I understand because sometimes they do it to me. And when I have to like roll myself back in and be like, I'm trying to be a professional here, but I could get there. But I never want to call a teacher out in front of kids because you got to be professional.
But
And at the
sometimes
end
it
of the,
happens.
sometimes it happens, but I feel like I know how to advocate for myself, and I will, talk to them privately, and then they do this mass text. They do the mass text
Yeah.
and text everybody, and then somebody come to me and tell me, like, y'all group chats are not private. I'm just letting y'all know. Like, people do come to me and be like, oh, so and so said this, and it don't really bother me, but it should bother you guys, the fact that y'all talking about someone who literally comes in your class or have to step foot in your class to control your class.
Classroom management 101, and that's where it falls short, and that sucks.
It does. And I think, but when we go back into it, there needs to be accountability on the parent side, there needs to be accountability on the teacher side, and there
Preach.
needs to be accountability with admin. And the reason why it's all, excuse my language, is fucked up is because that everything is, oh, your union over here, this union over here, and you can't do this. And it takes 10 years to fire somebody who hasn't been doing a job for 10 years. That doesn't make any sense. Like in the real world, if you're not doing your job, you getting fired. That's just the reality of it. So now you got shitty people who's working at a school who don't want to come to work, but they know they will still have their job because a union is going to defend them when everything is falling apart. You get what I'm saying? So
Or
we need to start holding our educators accountable,
true.
but also holding the parents accountable. It's like, we're not accepting this. So there needs to be some type of ground run because there's no growth going on and there's no, the level of education. Everybody keeps saying teachers are finding different careers is because the shit that teachers are dealing with is a lot. Let's be real. It's a lot.
100% true.
Right? But also part of it is just encouraging teachers to do the bare minimum and not teach, right? So you can have a teacher, and this not really church with my school, but I'm just saying you have teachers who are teaching who do not teach. So kids come to school, they act crazy because the teacher don't want to teach them, and they're like, all right, fuck it. And then the parent like, all right, like you haven't called me all school year, so why are you calling me now? You get what I'm saying? So the whole thing is unbalanced, right? And the principal has been writing people up, but it's not her job to fire somebody. It's the union. So again, it's a process, but we need to start, if we hold people accountable, right? Then everything starts falling into place. Because guess who is affecting the kids? The kids are not on grade level. They're behind. And again, statistics show that if a child is not on their correct reading level by 3rd grade, most likely they will be in prison or dead. So this school prison pipeline is definitely a thing because they're building more prisons, right? They're not building more schools. They're shutting schools down and building more prisons because what the world is becoming. It's just like a hostile environment that, everybody's going crazy. So, like this year, I've been trying to take a step back, reflect, and figure out even now, like what I'm going to do better next year, as an administrator, what I'm going to do next year to make sure that, my teachers feel supported, but my students feel supported. And I think if the common goal is for the students, then everybody should have that outlook on it. You get what I'm saying?
True.
But it's a process, right? But I don't know what's going to fix the education system, but it's going to take a village. It takes a village to raise a child. It's going to take a big village to fix the education system. And I think that's the most frustrating part about being in education, but I love it. We make an impact on children every single day.
Right.
Regardless if we go in there stressed out, we're gonna laugh like 15 times during that day. It don't matter. The kids are funny, and I think that's what keeps me pushing and going forward and going to work every day, even when I don't want to go to work,
And that's what talking to you, that's what got me to the place where I am, whereas though I started to grade with a curve because like you said, accountability from the teachers. In my situation, the teachers have no fear because they feel as though we need them. So it's like we're putting in their hands because if they do something wrong, oh, what you gonna do? Fire me? Who's gonna take on these kids? So our thing is like, let's just get through the year and then we could circle back on this later because we don't have no real candidates coming in because of everything that you said. Teachers are fed up. They've gotten disrespected within 3 months, the worst that they've ever had in their entire lives.
Right.
And these kids come with the craziest bids, conversations, talks, slurs, disrespectful rants towards teachers as possible. But when you get to their parent, they're angels. But what I've learned is this: like you said, everything that you talked about, I've built that rapport with the students. And how I build that rapport, listen, I know that if I can't get through to a parent, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to try my hardest to help this child blossom and grow.
Right.
And when I come to the teachers, I try to talk. But when Baker put his hands up and he walk away, it is what it is. Please, because you see it all over my face. That's something I can't control, is the expressions on my face. But I've come to a point to where as though I feel as confident, cocky, and what's the word? Oh man, I had it arrogant as possible to say that I'm able to control any student. I got to a place, and shout out to my director Brown, to where we said, yo, sometimes a kid needs a win. They're used to losing so much they need a win. So for the bad kids who barely come to school and always getting into trouble, I said, yo, they need to be student of the month. They need to be most improved. We need to give them praises, affirmations, and a shout
Absolutely.
out. And when I started
Absolutely.
doing that, fist bumps, yo, you get suspended every week. But guess what? I believe in you. I
Right.
know you're
No,
gonna have a great
absolutely.
day because you know
Yeah.
what? I'm proud of you. I got you, Baker. Baker had a good day today. It's so funny that kids now, when they come in, yo, you gonna have a good day today? Yeah. Did you speak to me? Did you speak to me, Baker? I woke up making sure you spoke to me. Okay, that's cool. But guess what? You get your body shot of the day.
Right.
So I have kids who were problematic who walk, put their hands up. All right, Baker, get your body shot of the day, because this how I'm gonna have a good day. And we can laugh and joke and
Yeah.
play around like that. But I mean, it's gotten to that point. But if everybody takes the necessary steps, it'll be that way. But as you said, you got teachers who come that don't want to work. And we learned this from being in a
Yeah.
mental health facility where we saw this
Yeah.
in psych hospitals and working to do, you know, everything to decompress the situation and de-escalate situations. When we learned our 51 Regina being fake and phony, and we learned how to do all of these type of things, you know.
Right.
So I mean, that has helped us. But I mean, listen,
Yeah.
I guess
Just today, like
we got
on
to
some more
change the
stuff.
world.
Yeah. Just today, like one of my students, he came to my office. He showed me his we have this check in, check out sheet with kids who just their behavior, they have more behavior problems. So they do a check in, check out with one of the teachers. So his mentor is one of our special ed assistants, but he still come in and check in with me. And he had all twos, but he had some ones. He was like, Mr. Young, I did get a one in I got a couple ones in music, right? And I said, that's fine. I don't want you to be perfect. You know,
Hmm.
I think a lot of the kids be like, yo, I got to get all twos. You don't have to get all twos. Like, you're not going to be perfect every single day. I'm not perfect every single day. But the fact that you're trying to be better, that's all I can ask for. So, man, I love being in education, even though sometimes it can be draining. It's still a thing that's very impactful for not only us but the kids as well.
Yeah,
You know,
and that's all that matters.
we're about to shift gears, right?
Yeah, so I mean that was heartfelt. So that's the mood that we
Absolutely.
was in, talking about something that hits us deeply, and it's our source of why we do what we do. That's
Right.
our reasoning, unless and not to take family out of the equation or loved ones, but our reasoning for why we have so much conviction when it comes to education. So to turn it up a little bit, to put more energy and oomph into it, we need to talk about what we need to talk about, what's been going on. A part of the title of this episode, Team Drake, because heavy is the head that wears the crown, and you see Toronto, right? Versus Team Kendrick. So let's start like this.
Mm-hmm.
We could do shotgun, give opinions, and we could agree to disagree. We could also put some polls up on Instagram. But let's talk about the all-time greatest beefs when it comes to entertainment, rap, R&B, and we can end with the most current beef. But throw some out there on who you feel as though was all-time beefs.
All time beasts. Um, of course, Jay Z and Nas, right?
Shout out to New
Um,
York.
of course, Jay Z and Nas was one of the all time beefs. Um,
And who you felt won.
honestly, I'm gonna be honest. Like, back then I didn't know like the severity of the beef, right? But
Mm.
now looking back and listening to the songs now, I don't know. I think they both are kings, right? I think they're both respected and good in their own right. So I felt like they, a lot of people say Nas won, a lot of people say it's up for interpretation, right? But I don't know who could be the winner in that. And a lot of people say Jay-Z is the winner because he ended up signing Nas, right? Like he signed him. But at the same time, I think as mature men, they were able to be like, yo, this is music. Put this to the side, and they're kings in their own right. And shout out to Nas. He literally a couple years ago, 2 years ago, just won his first Grammy, Cause we know it's a politics game, right? So we know this is long overdue.
Man,
Yeah.
respectfully, when you comes to the humility of the entertainment and the artistic approach to it, and you being an artist, a writer, songwriter,
Yeah.
creator, producer, a musician in itself, but primarily an artist, you understand that aspect. I don't. Me just being a fan from New York, I got Queensbridge versus Brooklyn and Marcy, and me Ether, and I just listened to it again. Ether was crazy. Ether was on the lines of, yo, he really tried to, do what he had to do and come for Jay-Z's throat. He gave his best ever right then and there. But I felt Ether was his maxing out.
Mm.
Jay Z came with the takeover. Jay Z said what he said. You made it a hot line. I made it a hot song. After Jay Z came with takeover, he dropped bomb after bomb after bomb, an album, and he kept excelling towards the sky. And that's why I feel as though, in my personal opinion, I'm going with Jay-Z in that. The reason why I'm going with Jay-Z, because I preferred that music much better. Ether was cool. You was crazy. You talked about some things and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you talked about Jazzo and this, and that from the past. But, I rock with it. Ether was great as well. Nas is amazing. I'm a big fan of Nas. I didn't like how Nas jumped on that Kanye West produced album because Kanye tried to make Nas conform to his style. And that's
Mm.
not the original Nas that I know, but they're great musicians. They were humble enough to get past that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna recant my statement because I'm rocking with Jay-Z 1,000,000%, but I'm just gonna leave it at Jay-Z. But I also respect and like Nas.
So I got a question. So, Jay-Z said, oh, you made it a hot line, made it a hot song. Cool. I think that's like, even when we talk about beefs, right? Because we could talk about the Remy and Nicki beef, like
Ooh.
the Shifter, and we know Shifter was crazy, right? Like we know it was straight bars, right? And we know Nicki Minaj came back out with um
You should know you the Nicki fan.
um
What did
I
she
just
come up
can't
with?
think
Mm-hmm.
do, 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 do.
Doom, da doom, 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 da
No,
doom, doom,
not
baby.
Super Bass. I can't name the song. My brain is not working. She had
Oh, Bodak Yellow.
no,
Oh, my
stop
fault.
stop it. Stop it. We had Drake on the record, Lil Wayne on the record. Come on, like stop being petty right now.
How? Because I'm
Um,
talking about Cardi B.
I can't think of the song, but she came out and it was a hit record, right? And I think what sometimes when people get confused, which yes, you can make a hit record. We know Remy. Now, to me, again, honestly, I thought there was a couple hits on Remy and Fat Joe's album. Yes, it didn't do well, but a lot of people sometimes get stuck on hits rather than listening to the music
Mm-hmm.
itself. Now, like you said, Nicki made a hit, a hot song, right? But Remy had the bars, right? And I think even when we talk about beefs and stuff, it's like, do people actually look for the lyrics or people actually look for the songs? Because when we talk about the Kendrick and Drake beef, I think people is confused with the two. Like, is it about, some people think it's about yo, it's a hot song. I don't care. It's a hot song, rather than listening to the lyrics.
Like you talk about, I could crip walk off of this. 'Cause that's you want to get up and dance
That
and
was
all of that. I don't
no,
want to.
no.
I don't want to
Stop
get up
it,
and
stop
dance.
it, stop it,
I want to
stop it.
hear the wordplay, and Drake's wordplay
All right,
is
so look.
beyond crazy.
So look, now, but we also got to talk about lies. Like, do we know these things to be facts, right? And if they're not facts, they still using the allegation that was said in the song as shock value, right?
Mhm.
And I think that's what we look for into music. And in the words of Charlemagne, the lie is more entertaining than the truth, and nobody cares about the truth. And
1,000%.
that's 1,000%, because you know, when we look at the Remy and Nicki thing, you know, nobody cared if Nicki didn't fuck all those people that
Remy said.
Right. And it come to find out it wasn't true, right? But
At that moment,
it wasn't true. But at the same time, nobody cared. And it was like, we don't care if you didn't have sex. It was a good record. And it was a good record.
mm-hmm,
So when we talk about the Drake and Kendrick thing, you know, a lot of Drake fans like, well, it wasn't true. Or what? We don't care if it wasn't true. I think that's the whole point. We don't care if it wasn't true. And I think I really want to go in depth with this beef, because this beef is now musically, we got great music out of, you know, the beef, right? We got great music.
from who? Kendrick?
Both.
Well, Drake
Both. Because I'm not petty. You're petty.
I'm not being petty right now.
We got great music for both of them.
But Drake puts out great music. Kendrick hasn't been putting out music, so this is what people wanted.
But it doesn't, I think the part is we don't care. Like, back then, and let's be real, back then people didn't come out with albums until 3-4 years. They took 3-4 year breaks, and that's totally fine, because one person want to stay in the limelight all their whole life. Doesn't matter.
Who's that one person?
You know, Drizzy Drake.
It's because
Drake.
He has so much to give to the world.
And what does he have to give to the world? He accomplished a lot, and nobody is taking that from him.
So if he got personal goals that he still want to go for, and I'm not.
So do you feel like he's being attacked by all these people?
No, he don't care about that. He's laughing at these people. They gotta live their regular lives afterwards.
He is.
They is the Avengers versus Drake. Drake feels like he's Thanos. Okay, well,
and guess what?
The Iron Man didn't come out yet.
Well,
we dealing with. We dealing with an Ant-Man. Metro Boomin is like Scarlet Witch or something. And in the future, he's just the dreadhead. Nobody cares about that. But all I'm saying is this, and I agree with you 100%. That when it goes to the shock value, when it goes to the amount of entertainment that the world has been lacking, it has everybody up on their seats the way I got it, because you have so much energy and conviction and wanting to talk about this, and people are really taking shots. Who's Team Drake? Who's Kendrick? Last time I heard about a team like that, it was Team Edward versus Team Jacob with Twilight. You dig what I'm saying? Team Kanye versus Team Taylor Swift. We really haven't had this much excitement, and that's amazing about it. They are, for lack of better terms, putting on a fucking show that's going to be amazing for everybody. Right now, all jokes aside, they could be in the same crib laughing. Like, look at these fools.
I doubt it.
Making our, of course so, because, you know, Kendrick. Never mind.
I gotta say this real quick. And I know we had our conversation yesterday a little bit, but
Cinco de Mayo.
This beef, now, Kendrick, I guess from how it all started, right? Let's just go out there, you know. We don't know what type of person Drake is behind the scenes,
First
right?
person shooter move.
We don't know how this person is behind the scenes, but a lot of people are tired of Drake's BS behind the scenes. Allegedly. Let me put that out there.
Okay.
Drake wanted a song with J. Cole and Kendrick. Kendrick declined the song, which is totally fine. You could decline the song. And we're not going to act like Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole were best of friends. We know there was friendly competition. We know that they threw darts and shots at each other, but it was still love. So Kendrick do not have to jump on a record that he don't want to be on, whether he has a problem with you or not. The problem I think a lot of people have, and which people have mentioned, Rick Ross, Metro Boomin, regardless on if anybody is dissing you on a song, you do not stop another artist from making money off a song because you want to send a assist in what's the
It don't matter. Pay your coins.
All right,
I'm on that song and I made it good. Give me my money, or you can't. No,
you don't send. Now you stopping somebody else's bag.
Oh well,
and
they
then
shit.
You also stop French Montana bag, and then you wonder why people is up in uproar about you. First of all, let's be real. And I'm about to you talk about these Drake facts and how Drake put so many artists on. Now Kendrick came with the heat, right? Drake responded, which was a great record. We're not going to talk about it. It was a great record. Kendrick responds 17 days later. Everybody keeps saying he responded 17 days later. Well, Nas responded 6 months later. Does it make it any more or less than the diss record? No. So he responded, and not to mention he responded 17 days later and then hit him with 2 of them, right? Hit him with 2 great records. Drake responded with Family Matters, and I knew that shit was going to eat y'all up because y'all Drake fans love a party beat, what's his name? A Travis Scott changing beat. Y'all love that shit. Y'all eat that shit right up.
And transitional beats.
And y'all eat that shit up every single time. It's like, oh yeah. Now, granted, he has some great wordplay, some great disses. Family Matters was a great record, right? Kendrick said, "Oh, we ain't playing those games. I'm dropping another record on your ass," and it was great. That's what I'm saying. It was great,
man.
It was great, and I think a lot of and the music. Not to mention, he dropped 2 records on that motherfucker, and then Drake responds with that sorry ass heartbreak song.
Wait. When did Drake respond? Last night.
Last night,
and we heard it together.
Yes, we heard it together. Okay. But let's say this. You could tell if a real Drake fan could tell that his mood was already fucked up. Like his mood, he don't want to respond no more. He's just like, I'm over this beef. You can say what you want to say. And one line that caught me off guard, and I don't know if you caught it, he was like, "Oh, I'm too famous for this. Like, you too famous for the allegations." Now, granted, people say, well, Drake is a pedophile. We don't know that to be true. Everybody's saying Kendrick beats his woman, his wife. We don't know that to be true.
Whitney didn't say he didn't.
And that doesn't mean nothing. Maybe the family wants to stay out of it. It's rap beef. You get what I'm saying?
Family matters.
Family does matters.
That's the name of Drake's song.
I know that. Family does matters, which is why was he hiding his son? If family matters.
We had this conversation before.
Nope.
Because
so look, real quick. I'm about to tell you. Now, think of all the artists on OVO. Think of all the good artists that was like Drake. Drake never promotes none of his artists. He never makes none of his artists bigger than what they're supposed to be. Drake had a good catalog of artists. Even, not to mention, he stole half of The Weeknd's album. You don't want to talk about that.
What album he stole?
All the songs that he had on his album, and even The Weeknd even talked about it. He took some of the songs and he was like, "Yo, let me use this for my album." I mean, and he used it because The Weeknd was like, "Yo, I don't know if I'm gonna be bigger," but you never took the opportunity to put Weeknd in a bigger position. Weeknd had to leave your ass. Party Next Door.
Drake
Division.
Drake
the list goes on. There has not been one artist, and we could talk about how Jay-Z, there's people that he has uplifted and brought them to the forefront. We could talk about Kanye. We could talk about Rihanna. The list goes on.
So you gotta have
Rock Nation. We could talk about just wait. And That's why you're sitting over there looking dumb.
No, I'm not
And
looking
on
dumb.
top of that, we could talk about Lil Wayne, Birdman, Tyga, Drake, Lil Wayne. The list goes on. Him, when you get to him, it's like, dog, what you want to be in the limelight so bad, but what have you did for OVO? OVO is just like, it's just you and Party Next Door, but Party Next Door should have been bigger than what he is because of who you are as an individual. You talk about all these fact sheets, how he helping everybody else record, but Drake is doing that to stay relevant, which is fine because he elevates a record. He knows how to elevate a record, and Drake is talented as fuck. But we can't deny that how selfish he is when it comes to his artists and the people that he's supposed to be helping, and he's and it's fine to be emotional, but don't talk shit in your records and then you want to be emotional about it. No, that's not how it works. It's rap. So if you want to be emotional about rap, then this is not the field for you. When you the top nigga, and I think this the thing, he wants the public opinion. They love Drake, right? And people love Kendrick, and nobody career is going to go down from this beef. They're both great artists. I think the thing with Drake, he doesn't believe in himself. And I think that's the part we need to look at, because everybody loves Drake, but he don't see it in himself, because we could talk about the leak verse when Kendrick, the control verse, and Drake got emotional about it. This is rap. It's respect. I see what you did on that record. I'm coming for you. It's all love. It's all love. He get emotional about stuff that it's like, you talk all this shit in your records, and he was talking shit about Rihanna, but when ASAP responds, it's a problem. Nah, nigga, you moving real grimy out here, and niggas approaching you about it, and they don't like how you moving. But when it's the other way around, I don't know, my feelings are hurt. Nigga, your feelings not hurt.
So Aubrey, if you watch this, these are this man's own opinions, and nobody listening to him. He don't listen. He don't dive into the fact he doesn't like you. He's like Charlemagne and the rest of them.
No.
He don't like
now
you.
You're lying, because you know I like Drake.
No, you don't.
You know I like Drake.
Every time we talk about Drake, you say how much I don't want to hear Drake. That's
because y'all overplay him.
Wrong. That's that man's opinion. And the reason why I say that Drake is this. Listen, everything Eric just said, honestly,
it's bullshit.
It went in my ear and out the other.
Of course,
I'm not
that's what a Drake fan would say.
You want to know why?
A Drake fan
you
would
put
say.
The Weeknd on in the beginning. You put him on multiple albums. And The Weeknd, in the beginning, he had mixtapes that you pushed and pushed and pushed. And you went to the Walmarts and the Targets and you bought all his albums. But if Weeknd didn't excel, he didn't excel under OVO because of the vision and the darkness that OVO was. It wasn't, and it was a rap label that he was trying to build up. Drake is the R&B. You get bodied by a singing nigga. So Weeknd, you wasn't competing with him. Weeknd, you turned completely pop. I Can't Feel My Face, and you excelled.
And The Weeknd is bigger than Drake.
No, he's not.
Yes, he
right
is.
now, so Nicki Minaj is, because she's not a rapper no more. She's pop. Doom, super bass, and that's how she made her money.
A song that happened like 10 years ago.
I'm just telling the facts. You got to go to different genres. And Weeknd went to the pop, Caucasian, white genre with the young girl screaming and hollering, and that's
Drake
where
did
Weeknd
too.
has excelled. Drake is still a rapper. What the fact of the matter is this, and that's your opinion, and I get it completely. I don't care. Party Next Door, he plateaued. Party Next Door didn't have great albums. He plateaued.
No.
He has great songs. You talk about the vision and all of them. You only can push somebody as much as you can. Memphis Bleak is Jay-Z's best friend, young boy. Memphis Bleak.
That man don't even post people. His OVO artists albums.
Memphis Bleak sucks.
But he want to post. But he want to post Lil Yachty album.
Okay, so what? Lil Yachty, that's his homie.
But you can't promote your own artist.
He did.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Beans, Jay-Z pushed and pushed. Beans plateaued. Chris and Neef pushed and pushed. They plateaued. You only can push somebody as much. You're gonna keep throwing them a bone. No, you have to continuously grow. As an artist, Drake is worried about his coins and everything. He jumps on other people's features. Everybody who got a top 100 They never had it. Drake got on a song with them, and they got this, and then they continue to grow.
And I'm not. And
Listen,
I
brother.
just told. Did I not say on this?
I'm cool with that. Sometimes
did
you
I not
gotta
say
be
on
selfish in this world.
No, but did I not say
I'm
on
selfish.
this? I know you are.
Exactly, and that's how you got to
So
be.
look,
It's a dog eat dog for all the dogs.
right? So it's business then, right?
It is always about business.
And guess what? Nobody cares about your feelings if it's business.
Okay.
And this, I think,
shock value though.
I literally gave Drake his props. You have not gave Kendrick any props.
I used to be a fan. I love
You
Good
used
Kid.
to.
Yeah, Good Kid, Mad
Used
City,
to.
and I love Damn.
Used to.
I don't like To Pimp a Butterfly, and he hasn't come out with nothing else. I love Kendrick on Beyonce's America, We Got a Problem, because Kendrick gave me what I needed to hear. Good Kid, Mad City is probably one of the greatest albums next to The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill in my eyes, and College Dropout. Those are my top 3. Oh, and Frank Ocean, Channel Orange. Right? Those are my tops. But for Kendrick right now, I'm not a fan. You can't get mad at me. I don't want the world to get mad at me or other people because I am a Drake fan. Yes, I am. You know what the problem is?
You could be a fan and be objective.
No, I'm a fan, a stan, a goddamn. I don't care. You want to know why? Because it's the same thing LeBron faces. And the reason why I say that is this. LeBron constantly, LeBron is 57 years old and how he's the first player. People are so tired of LeBron excelling and breaking records and being so amazing that they're like, damn, can somebody else do it? So that's how they feel about Drake. Drake can sing. He can get on and harmonize and have a whole album full of singing, and it's better than 100% of the R&B artists. And then Drake can rap. And then when he come out with Jimmy Cooks and all that, they like, yo, did you see the bars that Drake, he came hardcore, like, stop fucking with Drake. And then Drake can do the dancing and the bachatas and all of that type of stuff. Like, damn, what can't this man do? And he can act, and he can produce, and he's petty, and he could have all of these tours and come out wearing a dinosaur outfit, and people still love him. People are tired of Drake because he saturated the market from his greatness. So because of that, people are waiting for him to fail. You got bodied by Kendrick. Okay. But at the end of the day,
but like I told you,
Drake is going to continue to be Drake and come out with all of these things, and his tenure is not going to stop.
Absolutely.
If Drake goes on,
I agree.
Wait, if Drake goes on a 5-year to 7-year hiatus like Kendrick did, music wouldn't be the same. Kendrick going another hiatus, they're going to say, well, at least he had a good beef against Drake. Drake disappear, the world won't know what to do because
that's not true.
Is a part of the culture.
That's not
1,000%.
That's not true. And
shout out to Nike and Nocta.
I think with y'all, and I think even music is like, it's not always about a hit record. And I think that's what's confusing music nowadays, because y'all think about hits, and and let's be real. And this were from your words, Drake's last album was trash, but you kept blasting it over and over again. So as a fan, and you know his last album was trash.
Honestly, never mind was.
Okay. What's that?
Honestly, never mind.
You said it was trash and you kept bumping it, right?
I like 3 songs.
You kept bumping the album.
I did.
Right? So my thing is with, I don't look, and I keep telling you, like, Nothing Was the Same was my favorite album from Drake. Even if you're reading this, it's too late.
Mm-hmm.
So Far Gone, I think, So Far Gone, and Take Over. Those are like my great albums from Drake. Again, I personally do not think Drake albums, like the last couple albums, haven't been his best. But he knows how to elevate a track, and nobody is taking away how talented he is. But again, Drake is going to constantly keep winning, and he should continue to keep winning. But again, don't expect people to be all up your ass in the industry when you are being an asshole behind the scenes. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, you can't expect, if you're being an asshole to me behind the scenes, but everybody see this perfect person and it's like, he can't do no wrong in my arms. Like I always say, Drake has the Beyonce effect. Drake doesn't do any wrong to his fans, right? But Drake feed his fans, right? Kendrick do not feed his fans, but his fans appreciate him. They're fine with taking breaks with him, right?
That's you.
They're fine with taking breaks. But I think we appreciate the music when it comes out. We can actually listen to the music. Me personally, and this goes for everybody, and I keep telling you this. I don't care if you have 30 songs on the album. You are not as big as you know it. I lost train of thought.
Right.
But again, I think me personally, I like to be like, when there's a Jasmine Sullivan, when is a J. Cole, when is a Kendrick, when they do come out with projects, I'm like, yo, I'm more reluctant to listen because you didn't give me 5 albums in a year. Not saying Drake does that, but there were years where he gave us 2 albums. And I'm like, dog, like for me as a listener, I'm just like not listening to 20 songs by you. I'm not that big on you. And I'm not that big on you in terms of 20 songs. I'm not big on it. Beyonce producing 20 songs. It could be anybody that I like. I don't want 20 songs. Like I want to be able, even when Nicki dropped the album, I don't like all the songs. This album could have been 14 songs, right? But I felt like we're in the streaming era where everybody wants to oversaturate and be like, at least she could take 4 or 5 years off and still be relevant and not drop albums like Drake. But it's like, I feel like Drake, nobody sees any wrong. Drake fans don't see anything he does wrong, and they just seem like he's just a saint. And I think Drake needs to start taking accountability. And then granted, no, his career is not over. He is Drake. Kendrick's career is not over. He is Kendrick. Now, if it was,
King Kunta.
Now, we know how that Meek Mill and Drake situation went, right? But we also know how the Pusha T, he didn't respond. He didn't respond to Pusha T because he was pushing P.
Blah, 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 blah. Pusha T, where Pusha T at right now?
It doesn't matter.
On the same level as Adonis.
It doesn't matter. And Pusha T, everybody appreciates his music.
Who?
A lot of people.
Virginia.
A lot of people.
Nobody trying to hear that.
A lot of people.
He's not
Stop
even on
trying
good
to
music
discredit
no more.
him.
He's not even on good music no more.
It don't
you
matter.
talk about some Drake behind the scenes. When you was with Drake behind the scenes, do you know this? It's an allegation.
Allegations.
You know, they
right.
say Kobe Bryant was the nastiest, meanest person in the world because he cared about perfection and winning. If you get into this business, you care about being on the top and winning as long as you're here.
And I'm not saying he can't be an asshole sometimes, but
LeBron James, probably the nastiest person in the world, and he comes off as the greatest man walking the earth because he built the school in his and I'm the biggest LeBron fan in the world.
He worked very hard.
And guess what?
And I'm saying Drake works very hard for what he has, but
we don't know about the allegations because now people bringing it up. Oh, Drake is an asshole. Drake is mean. We don't know that. That's why
I didn't say Drake was mean.
You said the allegation. He's nasty to his fans and blah blah blah.
No.
And all
what I said was
behind the scenes, brother.
What I said was do not send somebody assistant and deceased to not.
Who cares?
What you mean? Who cares?
Metro Boomin
so when
Future.
Somebody responds, do not. Don't be emotional about it. That's what I'm saying.
Metro Boomin and Future. You shouldn't have did it. Now pay me my coins.
BBL Drake.
That beat. Whoever got the best beat, whoever got the best bars on BBL Drake can get this for free. Okay, Metro.
Entertainment, right?
Go make them drums.
It's entertainment, right? It's entertainment. It don't matter.
Them drums beat.
It's entertainment. But I better not see him in the interviews like,
he won't. He won't.
Because he don't do interviews because everybody keeps saying it.
He won't.
Right.
No.
And that's why he don't do interviews talking about shit. Because his last interview with Elliot, when he was talking about Pusha T, everybody was like, dog, it's a rap battle. And why you're emotional about it?
Because his son was brought into
And guess
it.
what?
And guess what?
And if his producer wasn't pillow talking, it wouldn't never had got out.
That is true. But
so take accountability for your action
and
call out your producer
and the OVO,
that you surely loves.
Okay,
but he's pillow talking with your information.
All right, and the owls and the OVO people, they took that L and all of that.
Say OVOs, OVOs. No, step.
Hey, that's all you heard about. Yeah, stepping. You are Kelly, Trey Songz, and Kendrick Lamar. All y'all can step the same way. Mm-hmm.
But when Drake make hit, those club bangers, y'all be like, oh, and y'all said Kendrick couldn't do it, but when he did it, it's a problem,
There
right?
wasn't no club banger. He put that at the end of the song. You needed that clickbait for people that listen to that nonsense.
Well, all right.
Listen.
Look,
That's why
I fuck with Drake, and I'm gonna say this on camera. I fuck with Drake,
allegedly,
and I fuck with Kendrick.
Allegedly,
the battle at hand, Kendrick, in my opinion, Kendrick won.
Is it over?
It needs to be over because at this point,
because you don't want no more of the Heart Part 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Because Drake said, "Hey, tell Kendrick I got an 11-year-old daughter," and Kendrick took it, ran with that, and he's salty from it. So what Kendrick got to do now?
But like
King Kunta, you better do another Black Panther song.
No, like Rihanna. I told you,
Fear of Heights, by the way, on For All the Dogs. That's a great song.
So is Drake a pedophile? We not gonna say Drake a pedophile because we don't know the information. We can't say Kendrick is a wife beater.
We can't. Not. I don't want that for him.
But what I'm saying is, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is just music, right? And again, from my opinion, I felt like Drake felt defeated on that last track. It was like, dog, at this point, I'm gonna say my piece, but you could drop another record. But like he kind of over this beef, and I think at this point, we saw the battle. Kendrick won, and Drake still is gonna prosper, and that's totally fine.
No.
We don't care.
I feel like the Heart Part 6, Drake got to a point to where he exposed the molestation. So when he get to the point to where Drake
we don't know if that's true.
All right, but if he's exposing it, like you said, whether it's not, people care about the lie more. So now Drake on his rhyme, like, damn, I see why you so hype about pedophile, because it happened to you. So Drake like, damn, I can keep killing you, but I kind of feel bad for you. So Drake is saying it, like he said, Whitney, if you need something, hit me back, and hit me and I'll hit you back. But I promise it's going to be in a safe way. Like, Drake is dropping bombs, but he's like, damn, should I keep going down this route? The same way J. Cole said, I went at you, but then it's like, but I had respect for you. If you have respect for a man, ultimately in the past, to which Drake put him on, Drake brought him to concerts, Drake brought him to Toronto, you always gonna have that respect. Yeah, Kendrick been throwing shots throughout the whole year, talking shit about Drake and all of that because you got to.
One shot.
Okay, no. He was on Cyphers and all of that. He has multiple songs throwing shots at them, and because Drake had a concert with J. Cole, first person shooter, not the one or the two or the three, everybody talking about it. Okay, fuck the big three. It's just Big Me. Okay, you came out of nowhere starting this. And then Kanye wants to get on the beef. Kanye, please sit down. Listen.
That's your man's, though.
For it, no, I've been told you I stopped messing with Kanye. Kanye lost it, and Kanye he got too many yes men around him. Listen, I'm a fan of Drake. I'm a fan of music. I'm a fan of new music. 4 bets. You put me on 4 bets. And when you put me on 4 bets or whatever the case may be, the reason why I was a big fan, I like She Like on God. Mm-hmm. The Kanye verse, shitty. And you know it's shitty. Yeah, and Kanye could have stayed off of it. But 4 Bets didn't even put Drake on the album. Why? Because he's not signed to OVO no more. They're supposed to be going through this whole thing. And 4 Bets is saying he not going through no beef with Drake. But Drake's verse, which made that song a million times better, is not even on that album. Oh, is there more controversy? Well, we also got to think about this. Drake said Kendrick is coming out with a new album. So if you building all this steam, now everybody's going to look forward to that Kendrick album. And in the art of war, you do things to help propel yourself. 4 Bets got the #1 mixtape right now. And that's an amazing ass mixtape. I listened
R&B to album.
Yes, and I listened to it 4 times today. And it isn't amazing. And his vocals are crazy. And the first 5 songs are amazing. I get it. Just like Coco is amazing artists out here who all fall under the shadow of Aubrey and Kendrick right now. And that's what, like you said, that's what Aubrey wants. Aubrey has to be the 6th guy. He is the boy. So as long as Drake's name is always on top, like you said,
right,
he's going to be relevant. And Drake is selfish, and there's nothing wrong with being selfish. And if I had the millions and I was too famous, you damn right. I'm selfish now, and I'm a broke nigga. I'm selfish with Rick Owens on and a Fendi belt. But what that mean? No, you cannot. Get out my face. No, we not even cool like that. Peace. Space the Fuck Out is the best podcast out.
It's definitely.
Gilly and Wallow, they could get the smoke. Have us on y'all. Wallow's trash. I'm sorry. Gilly makes that episode. But you can have us on that show, or y'all could come sit here. No, Wallow could go. Never mind. I ain't even going to go that far. I'm not going to talk about that main character. What's up? Go ahead, finish it off.
Again, 4 Bets did drop a solid. Four Bats did drop a solid EP, and I've really like the album is actually a good album, and I think a lot of people should go listen to it. And granted, before Drake dropped on the album, got on the record. He still had a name for himself for that song because it was a dope song. Drake definitely elevated the record. I love Drake's verse on there. I love it. Like Drake put the song to another level. I agree. But also, again, and me personally, I'm glad Four Bats did not sign to him because I felt like it was going to get to a point where Drake did take his songs, and then Drake elevates the record, and then Four Bats become like
in his shadow,
and the shadow
where the wayside. Correct.
But when you sign again, when you want to sign with somebody, you have to. When you have artists behind you, you have to uplift them and push them to elevate and transcend to another level. Yes, they could do it on their own. Like, yes, you want them to do it on their own, but they need that push. That's why you're Drake, right?
But wait, because this is gonna have to be a to be continued.
Yes.
Are you dark skinned?
Yes.
I'm dark skinned, right?
Yes.
He's what?
Light skin.
And that's them light skinned nigga tendencies. Is it not? You said the Beyonce effect. Beyonce is a red bone, yes or no? So you think Drake not gonna do that? He got braids with curlers and bows in his head and fingernails and all that. They allowed Drake to do that. Let Lil Wayne do that. Lil Wayne would have got his head blown off. No pause. I mean, super pause. But you dig what I'm saying? That's them tendencies.
I agree. Again, go listen to that Coco Jones.
Great song.
New song. Shout out to Coco Jones. It is. I'm sorry.
I forgot. It might be a Teddy Pendergrass, or I forgot what song.
It's called Here We Go. Coco Jones, to me, when in terms of R&B, she's gonna have the top R&B album because she knows the essence of R&B. And I felt like, yeah, it's R&B out here, but it just sounds like music. It don't sound like the essence of R&B that we grew up on. Again, Coco Jones is a force to be reckoned with, and I'm telling y'all now, she coming for another Grammy because she it was actually giving me Jasmine Sullivan could have been on the record. Oh my God,
Jazz, don't go on that record, Jazz. To be continued.
Space the fuck out.